Growing up as a kid, we all look forward to December where everybody will be going down to their villages. That's something you start thinking about from the beginning of the year, January. And I feel like in those days, maybe because we were kids, it used to feel like January to December was very far. December was the best month for all of us because everybody travels down to their villages and there is a lot of fun. Schools are on vacation and everybody is just having fun, family time and storytelling, so much. But one thing I noticed when I got to a certain age was the fact that my parents were reluctant to take us home. Some Christmas, they will make excuses and want to travel alone. That made us as kids very angry because we could not understand at that age why they would want to go home, have all the fun. To us, it was kind of wicked of our parents to travel alone. But most years we went all together. So this year, we were really looking forward to going to our village for the Christmas. I remember in school discussing with my friends, and we all talked about how we were going to have fun stuffs. Everybody would tell, what they were going to do when they get to the village. So, after school was over, we started preparing slowly, the family, to go home. You know that you're expecting your cousins, distant relations. You know that immediately you land, most times we just leave our bags outside and run to the neighbor's house, run to go look for those friends that we'd not seen for months since we left the village. So many memories from the previous Christmas, or sometimes 2 years ago, things that were done, all the programs that are lined up from the 1st of December till the 31st of December. Every day there is a program. So that's something that as kids, as people that we were just growing up, that we didn't know much. But one thing that stood out to me was the fact that every time we go home on December, our parents will always say this stuff to us when we're leaving the home. Be careful. We just didn't understand why they wanted us to be careful, because in the villages there are rules. There are certain crimes you cannot commit because the punishment is severe. Let me not go into deep telling you what kind of punishments people receive for different type of crime. So it was relatively very safe for kids to play around, walk alone, and come back home. You play, stay out late, and you're able to walk back home safely, unharmed. So we didn't understand why our parents really didn't want us walking around at night. So we just felt like they were caging us. So this December, we got prepared, got ready to leave. I remember vividly the day we were leaving. Now it's been many years. And we were now a little bit grown. But yes, the adults still had their eyes on us. When it was the day to travel, I remember sitting by the window of the bus as the bus was filled with people traveling. First of all, when you get to the bus station, there is so many people traveling to different states, different areas for the Christmas. Luggages upon luggages, extremely busy. The bus stations, the boat parks, because some people will be traveling via boats to get to their communities. We lined up and we got into this huge bus and we started heading home. But we left late because for some reason, our dad had something to do and came back home late, so we were leaving late. Already, we the young ones, we were already frowning our faces because we just couldn't wait to get to the village and start with the events that are already lined up. We know we've already missed a lot of events at this point because this particular Christmas, we were going home very late. We were leaving on the 23rd of December, which was already very late. So him not coming home early was something that we didn't like at all. So on the trip, I sat by the window looking at the trees, the palm trees, the bushes and everything as we were just going. Sometimes you drive through the bushes and then you get to the areas where you see little houses, and then you get to parts where you just be seeing giant trees and just beautiful nature. And all I could think about as I stared through the window was, I want to get home. I want to get to the village and just run to see my friends, my cousins, and everyone. So when we got home, it was very late. And now, when you get to the last bus stop, from there, we needed to take bikes. That's motorcycles down to the village. But because it was very late, when we arrived, everybody had gone home. So now we had to trek. We have to walk this long distance through a bush path. Remember, this happened many, many years ago. So the road was untarred and we had to walk. So we carried our luggages on our head, carried extra bags, and we started walking. But we, the young ones, we loved it because all we were thinking about is how to get home and go for the event. So we didn't even think of that distance that we had to walk. But may I also point out that this is not the first time that we are trekking. Like, it's a normal thing. If you arrive at this bus stop late and you're going to our village, you will have to walk if it's too late at night, because the bike men will have to close and go home for the day to resume very early the next day. So it's something that happens frequently. So we've trekked that distance before, so everybody is used to walking. So don't worry about our foot, because trust me, it is fine. So we walked and we were talking to ourselves, making jokes while our parents and the elder ones were walking behind us, and we kept trekking until we finally arrived home. When we got home, it was now too late. We couldn't go out to attend the event that was going on in the village for that day. So we were very sad and we waited for food. We all went to take our bath and then prepared ourselves to go to bed. So we will be up the next day, and immediately you're up. Trust me, some people don't even bother washing or cleaning their teeth. They are out of the home because some of these things starts early. Like the display of some of the masquerades, you will see them very early. There's so much that happens. So some people just leave home to go and run that masquerade, early morning masquerade running, because they also have the one in the afternoon that stays until evening. But the one in the morning, it's almost like a good exercise because you will be running. There will be a lot of flogging, and it is just part of what we do in our culture. Okay, so now we waited for food. Food was ready. We all ate and went to bed. But you know that with the excitement that you're coming from the city and you're all about the village, you've been thinking about that from January to December, you can't sleep. And where our home was at the outskirts of the community. So it's somehow in the forest, surrounded by thick bushes and trees and whatnot. So the crickets, the birds, the owl, it is always, the early in the morning, the chickens and stuff like that. So we're just rolling and rolling. All you could think about is, if I can fast forward the time. But then there is nothing you can do. So you just toss and turn on your bed until it is morning. And when morning comes, you know that you have to do your morning chores, or if you're able to sneak out, you will sneak out and then come back later to receive your punishment. But it was worth it because the fun that is out there in the community, it is worth it. It is worth any punishment you get when you return back without doing your chores. So some of us stay home to do our chores. Some of us just run to go enjoy the early morning masquerade. Continue listening to this story. Subscribe for the juicy part of this story.